Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. I'm just bringing these two in. This week's video is week 2, literally session 3 of sitting on Miss Fearn for the first time. And this week you're going to see us just starting to move away from the mountain block, take a few steps, basically following somebody else, and then we move a little bit further away from that and it becomes a little bit sticky. But we get through it, don't we, madam? We come back stronger the next day. She actually is too polite to refuse or book or do anything naughty, so she decided she'd try and roll Cindy off instead. So stay tuned. I hope these videos are not boring. They're much longer than the videos themselves that I'm showing you. I'm having to cut a lot of it down, which cuts a lot of our conversation. It's just a time when we're maybe stood, having a little break, chatting and things like that. I'm taking those out. But other than that, you're seeing the full raw cut of everything that we're doing, aren't they, sitters? Back up. Go. Watching this back, I'm just so proud of her. The way she backs up when she's asked, and then the way she just opened her mouth and helped me put that bridle on. It's just so amazing. She's just so accommodating and I just love her to bits. She's such a good girl. Oh, she's looking at the tiny baby bird tweeting above her, bless her. So I'm just going to do a quick lunge. It's not going to be extensive. It's literally just a couple of rounds of walk and trot, not to tire her out, because her energy doesn't really require that right now. It's just to get a gauge on how she's feeling and if she's listening before Cindy gets on, bless her. Right, let's go. It's a very hot day. She is looking and feeling very lethargic, I think due to the hot weather. And usually when you're sitting on a young horse, it is a good idea to lunge them first. But I don't lunge to tire her out. A lot of people don't either. Some people do. It is literally, and I usually don't have her on the lunge either. I usually free school her, but she's just coming back into work and I do not want her tearing around in here. We are back to free schooling now, but I wanted to just keep it quite under control. There's a lot of noise. I haven't taken the background noise out. I just want to see, number one, what kind of energy are we working with today? Because it can vary day to day. Sometimes she comes in here and she's full of it. Sometimes she's not. She looks full of it there. But actually, there's just a lot of noise. The tractor's crashing and horses going past. And she has a couple of minutes. And that's fine. I want her to be able to do that. I want her to be able to do that before anybody gets on. I'm not going to whiz around and make her work hard. I just literally want to see what type of energy are we working with today. Do you need to get rid of any silliness before we get on? And then, are you ready? Are you listening? And once she's listening, that is when it's time to get on. And this can take anything from 2 or 3 circuits round the round pen and a little join up to see how with me she is. Or it can take 40 minutes and we don't get on that day because the lesson has been, she wasn't listening and just needed to have a lesson in the round pen that day. And, you know, so we're always working with what we've got on the day. A little bit of walking, a couple of trots on each rein, turning in and just being obedient, and everything that's asked of her, everything's good to go. And she's lethargic but feeling good. I don't want to push her too much because it is warm as well.
Like something like avoidance. Yeah. Like gets attention like, oh, who's that there? Yeah, well, yeah, right there. You look like you're like, I was trying not to look at her to be honest. Well, you need to first of all, she's your own. It's like when you're preschooling, you don't not look at her and not put your head down, she's not a wild down. So I think of her, yeah. Oh, good. You can still say good girl and all that, but she just needs to know that, okay, I'm here but you're there. Yeah. Oh, hi. Good girl. Good girl. That's it. Don't feel a little behind, though, actually. Right, so I've gone from hands, seat, now leg. Like, put the leg on the back here. So now I've got hands, seat and leg working in 3 days. Yeah. That'll give you a really good little mini session. Yeah.
I'm never sure whether you guys would enjoy the voiceover part of these videos or if you just want to hear the raw conversation between me and Cindy. So please, if you're watching these, drop down in the comments below. Do you want to watch the raw footage or do you enjoy me giving you the guidance of what's going on? Because sometimes we're not mic'd and the volume is quite hard to hear as well. But this is literally session 3 of Fern having somebody on her back at all, which she's been doing really good. Up until now, I've either been walking ahead of her at a very close distance or at the side of her, like I was leading her at a very close distance. And this week I'm pulling away and moving more into the middle, more into that of what I would do as a free schooling position. I tend to free school more than lunge just because we have the round pen to do it.
Well done. Good girl. Yeah, she's really sticking to the gate. Yeah, little monkey. And then she does the mountain block and the dog and she's like, well, just hang there.
The first couple of sessions, she was really easy. Now I'm pulling away. She's finding it really sticky. and she's using backwards a little bit to try and see if that works to get her out of working or to remove her of the rider. She's finding certain places in the arena where are an issue and she doesn't want to go past. And we're just keeping it very quiet, very relaxed, and saying, no, that's not the right answer. We're not kicking, shoving, smacking, pushing her forward too much. We're just asking, guiding her in the direction of the right answer at the moment. That battery died on that camera. And so I took up my phone, and you'll see here in a minute that she tries to roll Cindy off. She's too polite to book or do anything that naughty at the moment. She's like, okay, it's time to get off now. I'll even lower myself to the floor to allow you to step off. And you'll see I have to literally just abandon my phone to be able to go and help recover the situation. And then I've had to chop out a ton of the video because I was using my phone but also trying to be helpful at the same time. And I just kept having to wave my hands or drop my phone. So I've cut all of those little bits out just because it was staring at the ceiling or in my pocket or something like that. But we end this day on a compromise. She's very sticky, but we're not going to give her too much of a hard time. It is only a third time with somebody on. And we try and get to the end where she just goes round a couple of times that are reasonable. And we both decide she's going to either come back better the next session or worse. And in fact, you'll see at the end here, she does come back better. And after this, there's another video that I'm going to do. I think it's the next video where she gets real sticky and then she's really starting to test if this is what she has to do. And then the week after that, you'll see we really turn a corner and things start to really come together. So yeah, there's a lot more to come. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And yeah, you're going to see in just a moment.
No. Good. No. Yeah.
It was just a bit much, don't want it, the noise and... Good girl. Somebody had just filled a bag of straw and walked all the way down the barn, dragging it, which is fine. We want these things to happen while she's being ridden, so she have to work with external distractions going on.
Walk on.
But yeah, it completely just takes her mind out of the game when she was doing really good, and she needs a minute.
Well done. Good job. Alright, let's go.
Good girl. Good girl.
Okay.
Well done. She's not even putting up that much of a protest, is she really? She's just... The reason I'm chipping in is because I'm still actually... Cindy's still using me as a support role on the ground as I would if she didn't have anybody on her. So that's why we're both making noise and encouragement. Yeah. Good girl.
Circle round and hopefully she'll get past that without
Yeah.
having to worry about anything. And then we'll stop. She's going real good. No, you're okay. You're alright, you're okay.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not sure at this point if, in my mind, I'm more worried about Cindy, Fern breaking a rib by rolling on a stirrup, or my saddle. But yeah, this happened so quickly, and she does try it on another day, and then I think, I'm fingers crossed, we're past this part now. But this is her go-to move, honestly. It's her signature dive and roll. Up.
Well done. Come board after our little playtime.
After she was too polite to book Cindy off, so she tried to roll her off.
That's
Good girl. So as I said, we literally just have to end today on a compromise. We don't want to go too far. And yeah, it wasn't the best session and it didn't fill me with a lot of confidence, but this is young horses for you. It's up, it's down, it's sideways and then forward a bit.
Come on, walk on.
Sweaty. Come on.
That
Walk on.
face.
Keep going.
Girl.
Don't mind tractors, just want the rider up. Get rid of rider up. Don't mind going with a tractor.
Walk on.
Oh, well
Good
done.
girl.
What a clever girl. Right, so we just need to do that full circle. I hope you're okay with that.
Yeah, she needs to go round, doesn't she?
Still did a little stop. So.
Walk on. Trying to be helpful without being useless doing this.
No, you're doing really good. Just like you say, you're moving and mobile. She knows you're there.
Oh. Good girl.
Well done. Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
Good.
You can do it. No. Come on, you can do it. No.
So this is the day after. As you'll see, we go back a step and we go back to me walking by the side and in front of her just to regain a little bit of confidence with her. And she comes back way better. She's way less sticky, way less stopping. We're still not where we need to be, but this is literally the 4th time I think she's had somebody on her back. We're at this point just trying to get her to free up her mind and her body to think forward still, but that's okay. We're not rushing it. We're giving her time to process it in her mind, think it through, and come to understanding that just doing it is going to be more fun and enjoyable.
Yeah. Rebalancing to turn, I find it really hard. It seems weird, doesn't it? But it's like hard work to turn. Yeah, she planted and put a spot on. Yeah, exactly. I've got a weight on my back. Just let me know what you need from me. You're doing absolutely fine. Good exercise for me as well. Yeah. Because she's following you, but she's looking. Yeah, we're just doing F2E. Yeah.
This session wraps up a difficult week with Fern. Both me and Cindy, she's taken us both by surprise because she's normally so accommodating and just good-natured in general. And we were both like, oh my gosh, this is a bit more sticky than either of us had expected with her. But saying that, now where we're at, I think we've turned the corner and we're starting to see the confidence in her confidence in what she's doing start to come out. And once she does have that, I know that she'll just keep going from strength to strength. It's just taken a little bit of time to get there.